All right, so my Scream list is going to be this. So the reason why it's going to be mixed reactions is because of my ranking list, and I'm going to rank this movie because it's one of my favorite franchises. I'm very knowledgeable of it, and some of the things in the movie in the franchise kind of made me like say, okay, why the fuck did that happen? So I'm going to rank the Scream movies. And then in another podcast, I'm going to rank the Scream franchise in total from the TV shows, the killers, and everything. It's going to be a longer video. But for mainstream fans that just focus on the movies, I'm making this video for you all. Because there's some Scream fans that don't even know about the television series. And I don't blame them because the television series is all over the place. And a lot of the characters in that television series isn't likable at all. Like, if you compare the Scream franchise and the Scream from the movies to the TV shows, the most hated characters will literally be on the television series. I could live. You know what? Screw it. I'm literally gonna rank most of the characters from the television series on my ranking list right now, next to this Scream movie. So the first Scream movie that's my number 6 on my list of best and worst Scream movies. Drum roll, please, ladies and gentlemen. Not about to do it. Boom. It's Scream 2. Scream 2 was one Scream that kind of just annoyed me. It annoyed me simply because of the premise of a recycled storyline of you killed my kid or my son or my children. We've seen that trope before. The Mama's Boy with Friday the 13th with Mrs. Voorhees killing people for killing Jason. Then vice versa, Jason killing people for killing his mom. Although Mrs. Voorhees was a psychotic bitch. So, yeah, she was mentally unstable. So, I didn't feel bad for her death. People say she's misunderstood. Screw that bitch. She wasn't misunderstood. She was just killing. Although her son did die, it was fucked up. But screw Mrs. Voorhees. Screw that lady. Rest in peace, Betsy Palmer. But just the character, it just annoyed me because it's kind of like a couple characters she killed off didn't even do anything. And I'm like, okay. Then in the sequel of Friday the 13th Part 2, they killed the girl for no reason. Anyways, that's just another day and another story when I do my Friday the 13th rankings because that's my other favorite franchise. But I didn't like Part 2 because of the recycled storyline of Mrs. Loomis being the killer. And Sydney was like, oh my God, it's Mrs. Loomis. And then the other killer was the dude that looked just like freaking Screech Ulrich, aka Billy Loomis. That was obvious. In a way, Gail was treating her, that was obvious too. But it's like, Sydney, how come you haven't noticed that was her mom? Like, really, Sydney? You didn't know that was your ex-boyfriend who you lost your virginity to, allegedly. Mom, your boyfriend, your high school boyfriend's mother. You did not know that was his mom. And I kind of hate that they don't mention her in the newer movies, but I didn't like that. But one of my biggest oh, two things in that movie that made me more mad than that storyline. I can accept the recycled storyline. But one thing I hate about horror movies is killing off a good character. And one thing I love about horror movies is killing off a character that deserves to die. So let's address the person in the room. One character that got killed is an unlikable person in real life. Jada Pinkett scene was awesome. At first, as a kid, I felt bad, but then as I got older, I said, dude, I don't like going to the movies, watching TV, and I damn sure don't like nobody spoiling anything and talking so much while I'm trying to watch something. If I'm watching something, I am into the zone. I don't want to be interrupted. I can't, that's, I'm going to turn to a nerd, but that's one of my pet peeves right now, guys. So when she was talking and screaming, it's like, girl, shut the fuck up. You talking too much. She just kept running her mouth, talking and talking and talking, and nobody wants to hear that all the time. And it's still that trope exists Till this day. This existed in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 20s. This is going to exist until the day that we die, that somebody's talking in the middle of a movie, a play, a podcast, anything that you're producing. It sucks. It's disrespectful and rude. So a character like that getting killed off was good. And it was Jada Pinkett too. I was a fan of her, but chick was always talking. So a character like her dying off, it wasn't bad. Then the boyfriend being a pervert and decides to go to the restroom and stick his ear into the restroom. Like, dude, come on. Come on, dude. Really? Come on, dude. Come on. You was in The Wood and many other great movies, bruh. You know better. You black. We don't do that. No disrespect to white people. I'm not racist. But horror movie, in horror universe, black people are smart as hell. But not in Scream 2. I did like Dwayne Morton character. I'm glad he didn't die off. I don't recall. They had Dwayne Morton and Kimberly Elise Neal in there. And I hope I said that her name right, but they played in All of Us a couple years later, so that kind of gave them, a storyline because that's Sister Campbell Martin's husband, and they relationship was similar to Will and Jada. So it was a lot of Easter eggs in that movie that people just never ever got. But the thing that pissed me off so much, was killing off Randy in broad daylight. Man, I was livid when he died. I was pissed. I said, man, fuck this series. Fuck these movies. I'm not going to watch them. That's how I'm with WWE. When somebody's a champion for a long time, or when unfair situations occur, I get pissed. But that's life. You can't run away from problems. That's a good theme in my one of my messages. Never run away from a problem never run away from something when it don't go your way. And in movie terms, I was going to give up on the franchise. They killed him so brutal, it made me vomit. Not vomit, but it pissed me off. It pissed me off to the extreme. And I didn't like that. So that's why I'm putting this one at number 6. Now, number 5 is obvious. It's going to be Scream 3. Reason why is, to me, Scream 3 is a little bit longer, although I like Roman Bridger as a killer, being Sydney's stepbrother. But again, here we go again. Stepbrother or brother, calling a mom a hoe, and a mom appearing as a god. It was too much going on in that movie. Although it kind of had that See the Chucky route, kinda. Because See the Chucky came out years after this, but it was like, oh, we're gonna have actors playing off Sydney and Gail, and we're gonna kill them off. And then they killed my boy Bud too. Like, come on, bro, Bud's my twin, bro. Like, Bud is my long lost distant brother. I need to talk to, who need to give me brother support. Similar to child support, it's like, bro, you're my brother. We look alike. Like, give me some of that Cosby money, bro. Give me some of that Cosby money. But anyways, yeah, I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. Now, for him having a bulletproof vest and him being one of the smartest Ghostface, I liked it. It was good. But to me, the movie was just long. It was a little dull. I just didn't like the premise. I just wanted to see something different. I liked the Jay and Silent Bob gimmick where they both appeared. But yeah, I put that in number 5. I don't have too much to say about part 3. Okay, so who y'all are gonna hate me for my next ranking? Number 4. Number 4 is gonna be the original Scream. This is where y'all are probably gonna like hate me and probably not gonna listen to me and gonna be like to me. And I get it. I get that. But the reason why I put this up here is, first of all, it was original. Drew Barrymore did. Okay. First off, the movie was original. It was good. It was supposed to be a parody of many other horror movies. It was a pretty good movie. It was a really good movie. And again, Easter egg and fun fact for nerds, if you didn't know this, but if you're a nerd, you know this. The original Scream was supposed to be called Scary Movie, and Scary Movie made a parody of it. And Billy and Stu were the best killers. They are number 1 killers. I'm going to spoil my ranking list. They're number 1 on my list. Simple. Great killers and everything. I love them. I love that movie from head to toe. But I hated Gail Weathers. She was a bitch in that movie. But part one had so much stupid shit going on. I'm like, why is she crawling through the garage to get out? Like, Randy's sister crawling through the garage. Casey Becker is going outside talking to this killer. I would have simply hung up. It was just so much stupid shit going on, but that was the first movie. Not saying it was a bad movie, but my ranking based upon me. That's why I put that up there. It was it was good. I mean, when they were stabbing each other, that's the most memorable scene, Stu and Billy. But why? Why? And we all know Stu ain't dead. We all know Stu ain't dead. If you watch a lot of television shows, it's a lot of TV shows where a character is so-called killed off and they appear in the next season or in the previous season. Not in the next season, but like in the next season, or there may be a decoy. It's something. I guarantee you when Scream 7 come out, your boy's gonna appear again. So I put not Randy. I put Billy and Stu up there, and then also Randy was given the rules for the movie. A lot of people didn't even follow Randy's rules. A lot of people in the movie, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I put that up there. Number, I don't know what number I'm on right now, y'all. I rank 3. I rank 2. I rank 1. So number 3, I guess. I don't know. I hate counting. My brain hurts. Number 3 is a debate. It's a debate between 4 and 5. Actually, fuck it. I'm going to give it to 4. The reason why I'm going to give it to 4 is simply because I love Jill. Her character was crazy. Sydney's cousin, another storyline where it's somebody related to Sydney. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious right now? But Jill was this crazy cousin. She wanted to frame her cousin and everything. First of all, her stepbrother was a killer. Do you not think the cops would probably catch on? It's like, okay, it's another copycat killer, and they're like literally kids to Sydney. And her cousin, she's just recently seen or recently appeared in the movie. I don't know, but Gail was still exploiting off Sydney and Gail, and it was a lot. I mean, not Sydney and Gail, Sydney and Dewey, and ugh, it was just a lot going on. It was a lot going on in that movie, but it was okay because I like Judy Hicks. She was a good character. Kirby was good. I love Kirby. I've always been a Hayden Panettiere fan. She's good. I liked her character. Her boyfriend sucked. I forgot his name, but he was the worst Ghostface killer ever. I'm like literally spoiling my list. He was the worst Ghostface killer ever. He was the weakest. He was more like a little bitch. Jill was better, but dude was like a bitch. Rory Culkin's character was a bitch. Like, I'm sorry. If he was Ghostface, I'd just laugh at him. The dude from Scary Movie that was Doofy was a better killer than most of the people from Scream. Although it was a parody movie, but I love the guy that played him, especially at the end. He was badass, and I wish they could get him in the Scream movies. Or shit, I don't know. Or just make an Easter egg and say, "Oh, this is a guy that's making fun of the stab movies," and put him in a movie and kill him off, or let him be the killer. He'd be infatuated with the killings and say, "Man, I made a spoof movie. Well, how come I can't be a real killer? Because I like it, and fans love me." If we go into the fan territory, that's just me. Maybe a horrible storyline, but we've seen worse horror movies. So yeah. Now the next Scream movie I'm going to put on this list is the most recent movie that came out, Scream 6. Scream 6 was going to be my number 1, but I'm changing it because after I have been mentally projecting this list, I have explanations on what and why I did this decisions to correlate on why I did this. I'm going to put Scream 6 on there simply because it was a good movie, but it was a recycled trope of the family getting revenge on the person that killed their son or their family member. And I just felt like the Kirsch family was weird, although it was kind of obvious that the brother was one of the killers in the train scene because when you go to New York trains, I heard it's a lot of shit that happened in New York and they don't care. Like Jason Takes New York was another good New York movie. Manhattan, New York, whatever. But a lot of weird shit may happen and a lot of crime may happen and people just mind their business and they don't care. And when she got stabbed, many people really wasn't caring. And I cannot, I cannot stand the Meeks twins. And this was the movie why I really wish that they died because they were both, Chad and Mindy were both annoying. People are gonna hate me for this, but I say shit that people don't want to say or say shit that's different. Randy was a good Meeks character. I love Randy. I hate they killed him off. I hate they killed him off. And it's similar to the Chucky series, where they had these new characters that I can't say unlikable, but I feel like they're immune to die. Similar to the trio from Chucky the Kids. I want them to die. And I want the OG characters to live and be an OG storyline. But different day, different topic. Next review. Spoiler alert. But the Meeks, the core four are unkillable. I can see the Carpenter sisters, but the Meeks, oh my God. I wish they just died. I'm sorry. I'm not being racist towards my people. Just those characters are Gen Z characters. They're annoying. It's like Mindy stay talking throughout the whole movie. She was like the annoying character, like, bro, shut up. You think you know everything. Then Chad just can't die. Like, what? What? Like, Chad can't die. Then, the beginning of the movie, y'all killed off Mrs. Crane, the professor. Because you got a bad grade. And the first in the series, the killers revealed in the beginning of the movie. And we had 2 LGBT killers, which is the first in history. Kudos to that. And 2 boyfriends was killing. The boyfriend was murdered by Ghostface. And come to find out, the Ghostface was Richie Kirsch's dad. And it was just going all over the place. Because first off, if you're a film professor where you have to get a doctorate degree, I'm pretty sure you got a doctorate degree. You took psychology classes, you're smart. I don't know much. But you're a professor. You have a master's degree. You have even a bachelor's, hell, even associates. I took psychology and associates. And you telling me you're going to the dark alley to meet a stranger on an app that's voice calling you and not video calling you? Girl. And her character in Your Next, Ready or Not, was badass. And I was saying when that trailer come out, I said, yo, Samara Weaving, I'm a fan of her from The Babysitter. And I'm also a fan of her from Ready or Not because she was badass. She's the next Jamie Lee Curtis. She's the next Scream Queen. But they killed her off, and it's like, dude, the people, Radio Silence, that wrote this are the people that wrote Ready or Not. So why y'all killing one of y'all marquee characters? It's like Adam Sandler killing off somebody like Chris Rock or David Spade off in one of his silly movies and they die and don't appear again. It's just quirky and crazy. It's just crazy. It's crazy to me. I was mad about that. And the Meeks twins, I wanted them to die so bad because it's like, what? What are you doing with yourselves, bro? Like, I know y'all lying right now. I know y'all lying right now. I know y'all didn't just stab this dude many times and stab this bitch many times and they are still alive. Fuck that. But the ending of the movie was pretty good because they thought Kirby was going to be the killer. But we come to find out it was a trio of killers, which was good. I like the trio. I like the Ghostface trying. And another thing I like was both of the Carpenter sisters was killing. They killed off the characters who did a long monologue, which 6 movies from now, y'all should get the point to stop fucking monologuing and just kill somebody. But yeah, another thing I hated was the girlfriend dying. Like, that was a brutal, unnecessary death. Y'all threw her off. Like, first of all, that's some scary shit. First off, why Brody got a ladder in this house anyway, in this apartment? Small ass apartment, you got a ladder. What the fuck are you climbing a fucking ladder for? You Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy or Edge or Christian? Like, nigga, what? So, the thing is, he had the ladder and you already knew what was going to happen. But Ghostface stabs the girl, fucks with her on the ladder, and the girl dies severely brutal, and it was a brutal death, and it's a realistic death. That was gory. I hated it the way she died for no reason, being around these core four jackasses. And well, core two of the core four I don't like. But yeah. Like I wish West was alive instead of the core like man. But other than that, the ending was good. The sisters jumping the killers was good. Samantha putting on the ghost face thing costume and feeling it. Is it a tease that she's gonna be a killer? And two, it's making me think, y'all, all these killers have to have a leader. They have to have a leader. They have to. We probably will find out in part 7. And also, this is the first Scream movie without Sidney. So it's like having a Chucky movie without Andy. It did good because it developed new characters like Nika Pierce. I like Nika. So the Nika in this series is Samantha Carpenter, aka Melissa Barrera, and Jenna Ortega character Tara Carpenter. So we got our new characters that's likable because I like the Carpenter sisters. I love them. I've always been a fan of Jenna Ortega, and I like Melissa Barrera. She reminds me of one of my friends, Hispanic friends, Andrea. She's beautiful. She's stunning. She seems cool. I like her character. She's a likable character, and I would love to see both those actors do good. And Hayden Panettiere, come on now. Come on now. Come on now. But I just couldn't deal with the Meeks. I couldn't deal with the Meeks. Then you had the dude Flash Thompson, Tony Ravioli as one of the killers. Yeah. Detective Bailey was good. He was smart. His kills was good. With the shotgun and everything, he was good. I don't know how the fuck he killed everybody that fast. Because realistically speaking, y'all could have jumped him. And who, I don't know. All right, last but not least, my favorite Scream movie of all time is 5 Scream, aka Scream 5. I love Scream 5 because Scream 5 kind of focus on Sidney and then focus on other characters. And one thing about movies with legacy characters, it forces a storyline. Similar to that shitty Exorcist, it forced a storyline. Halloween Kills was it forced a storyline. I'm sorry, Halloween Ends forced a storyline. But a new Ghostface killer arose, and it was a boyfriend. The boyfriend was a film buff. Then come to find out Richie and Amber was fans of serial killers, and they became the killers. Amber's death scene was good because her scene was a reminder of the Chucky movie. First one when Chucky got burnt. It came back alive. So I'm running after this bitch with a knife. Richie character here. Richie was a bitch too. Similar to, the dude from Scream 4. But I like the actor that played Richie because I love The Boys, the TV show The Boys. So he's a good actor. Randy Quaid, Jack Quaid, whatever his name is. But Richie was a good. It was like a okay motive because they copycat killers and expired, and I feel like in today's world we live in, although they have multiple copycat killers in the movies, but their motive was a little bit realistic because it's like you the son of a serial killer. I want to take credit and say you killed all these people, so I could be famous or something like that. That's similar to no disrespect, if Jeffrey Dahmer's son had some sick ass fans that killed up all his friends. Jeffrey Dahmer's son or whoever. It's one of these serial killers that got a living relative. I don't know who it is. But whatever major serial killer that got a living son or any living relative, and that kid is doing so good in life. But then that kid got like a psychotic tendency, but he tried not to bring it out. He tried to play sports and do something good and not be near that. But you got motherfuckers keep poking on. So when she killed Richie, it was good. I liked it. Only thing I hated in the movie was Dewey dying. Dewey had nothing to do with this, but they found Dewey and he sacrificed his life for them. And I liked it and I hate it. And, if Gail do die in the next movie, at least she'll have a satisfying death, and she'll be in heaven with her boyfriend. So that was really good for Scream. The Scream franchise was really good with that. And also, I like the realistic stuff where Sidney met Sam and everything, and Sam kept ignoring Sidney. They like, who the fuck are you? They kept ignoring their calls and everything. And then they kind of developed a bond at the end. So the dialogue with them is like it's realistic. It's like, bitch, I don't know you. You the bitch that killed my dad. He wasn't the best man in the world, but why the fuck I want to fuck with you? And then eventually they became friends. So I hope with this franchise they don't make Samantha or Sarah the killers. If they do, kill off one of the characters, make her go into a rage and make her kill, and have a final showdown with Sydney and they both die. That's what I want to happen for the Chucky series. If Andy died, Chucky died with him. Bring this person with you. Let it be something satisfying. Let it be a misunderstanding. Let it be somebody. Let it be somebody like Stu Marker returning, and he poisons Sam's mind. Then eventually, somebody else appears and kills off, like a character like Gil or somebody else appears and kills off Ghostface, like Stu when he returns. And I hate that Wes and his mom died. I hate that they killed off a lot of good characters in this movie. It was obvious that they were all gonna die, but this was like the highest count of legacy characters and newer characters dying because again, like I said, I like Wes' character better, and I would rather for Wes to survive than the Meeks twins because when I first met them, I was already annoyed. I was already annoyed at them because it's like the douchey jock always dies in movie. Always. Except Freddie Prinze's Jr. character in I Know What You Did Last Summer. He wasn't a douchey jock, but I think he played sports. He wasn't a douche. But Ryan Felipe character, he kind of reminds me of a mixture of Ryan Felipe character from I Know What You Did Last Summer and that dude from Friday the 13th, the asshole dude from Friday the 13th. I forgot his name. But the 2009 one. He kind of reminds me of that. He do got a little good in him. He's cool. And then Mindy just remind me of the Jada Pickett character and that know-it-all person we all went to school with or church with or anywhere with that knows everything, tells you they knows everything. Then when you want to have an opinion, they tell you to shut the fuck up, baby. You don't know what you're doing. And she did that in the most previous movie. So those two characters I kind of want to go and die and just give us more character development with Sam and Tara and Sydney and Gail or something like that. Like, because they're the only two I know that's still living from the original movies. But regardless, oh yeah, and the detective, he survived too, so bring him back because you know they dated. Like, have a storyline with Stu returns, have some killers and everything because they did kill Stu Marker's nephew in this movie who was related to him, the dude that drove the car. Regardless of it, this is why that's my number one movie. Please like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube, my Facebook Live, my TikTok, and my Spotify, and have a great day.